Hi everyone! Welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. As you can tell from the title and thumbnail of this video, today I'm going to be starting a new series on this channel where we fix villagers' homes. If you weren't aware, I did create a video a while back called The Problem with Villagers in New Horizons, where I basically showcased a bunch of villagers' homes that were just completely ruined in New Horizons, and I have no idea why they changed it. Basically, we are missing a ton of stuff in New Horizons compared to the old games. I asked you guys on my Instagram whose home you'd like to see me fix first. I have quite a list of villagers. Don't worry, if you watch that video, I will be fixing Floras. Basically, I only have a couple of amiibo cards at the moment, so I only had a couple of options, and you guys chose Baabara out of all of them, and I'll also be fixing Drifts, and everyone else on the list that I mentioned, I will be fixing their house at some point. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So yeah, like I was saying before, compared to the old games, a lot of villagers' homes have been completely changed in New Horizons. I think this is mainly because we are missing a lot of furniture in this game, and also you can tell that Nintendo was very much rushed by the end of the game's development. Today we're making Barbaras. If you didn't know, Baabara is one of my favourite villagers. I see her as like my grandma. And this is because in the old games, I'll put a picture on the screen, she had a very chic grandma house. In my view, she's like a very fancy, rich, older lady. I absolutely adored her old house. She has like musical instruments, it's very brown and fancy and gorgeous. We have that classic sofa that I love so much that we don't have in New Horizons. I really miss that sofa. But in New Horizons, unfortunately, I did show this in the video, but unfortunately, they did change her house into this really weird like funeral parlor. I can't even describe it in any other way. There's just black stuff everywhere. I've never known Baabara to be a goth in my point of view. Nothing against that. I just don't see that as Baabara. She's a very fancy chic grandma in my point of view. So as you can see today, we are sort of recreating her original house, sort of giving her how I would see her house in this game. And my main reason for doing this series is one, because I hate the homes a lot of these villagers have and I just want to see them chilling in a cute little home, but also because I want to showcase to Nintendo what they could have done and question them why they didn't put the effort into creating villagers' homes that suit them. There are a lot of villagers' homes that they really messed up, or you know, some people might like them, which is fine, but for long-time players it can be very jarring to see a character change that much in their home. One specifically is Baabara. Like I said, she was a chic grandma and now suddenly she's just like really gothic and sad and has like 2 baths in her room, and I don't really understand that. So yeah, today we are fixing that. I am using the picture of Baabara's house in previous games as inspiration and kind of following from there at the start. At first I do try to do a complete recreation of the room. Eventually I go into it, change things around to make it look better in my opinion, because often in the old games villagers' homes would be very empty because they need room to walk around and stuff. That is one of the things that makes villagers' homes the way they are, is that they need to have a lot of room to walk around, so you can't often have cluttered homes, but you can do that if I'm recreating it. I did try not to make it too cluttered though. Also, one of the other issues with this is that none of the rooms in Halves Island are the same size as villagers' homes. At least I don't think this room is the same size as a villagers' homes. It feels bigger to me, so I'm pretty sure this room is bigger than the classic villager home. So do bear that in mind with the outcome in the end. Of course I'm able to fit in a lot more furniture than they typically would be able to. I still think that this could show them that they really could have done a lot better with some villagers' homes. Like I said in my The Problem with Villagers video when I was discussing the homes, if you like their homes, that's okay, but that's why I'd really like them to introduce a happy home designer element into the game where we can actually decorate their homes for them / with them and give them the home we think suits them, because everyone has their own unique relationships with villagers, and if this is your first game, the way their houses are now, of course you'll like it because that's your perception of them. But for a lot of players who have played all the old games, a lot of villagers' homes have been really destroyed and really changed our view of them. Yeah, it really sucks when you're like so used to this character, they're your friend, you consider them a friend to you, and then you see how much they've changed their home and you're like, that does not suit them at all. Talking about you, Flora, also I got a lot of comments on that video, just want to address this, saying Flora's house is like that because she's a flamingo and this is how flamingos live. I am aware how flamingos live. I just don't think it was very nice to give her a zoo as a house. I just don't like that idea. I want her to have a proper house. And I got a lot of comments as well saying not all villagers need to have somewhere to sit, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough. They don't have to, but that's just what I like. So that's why I was talking about it. I hope that in all my villagers' homes, I'm actually able to give them somewhere to sit. It's just cute when you walk into their house and they're sat down reading a book or, you know, asleep or something. It's just so cute, especially in New Horizons where they added that as an option, because in the old games, they wouldn't do that. The most you get is them, like, maybe asleep, standing up. Sometimes they'd sit down, but they did in New Leaf, but in the older games, I don't think they ever sat down or interacted with their furniture in any way. So I really love that aspect of New Horizons, that they do interact with their furniture in their home. And again, that's another reason why their homes are so important. So as you can see, I'm using a lot of brown and dark flooring and wallpaper. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone on my Discord server who was helping me get the items I needed, because I didn't have this wallpaper, and I'm pretty sure my friend Gab sent this to me to help me out, so thank you so much, Gab. This is the exact wallpaper she had in old games, so I really wanted to use that in this one. I didn't even know this wallpaper was in the game. I actually googled it to see, and I was surprised to know that it was actually in this game, so that made me really happy. And actually quite a lot of the stuff that Baabara has in her home, we do have replicas of, or furniture just like in New Horizons. As you can see from the way I'm decorating the house, it looks almost exactly like her old home in the old games. Also, you can probably see me debating which tea mug or tea set to go with. In the end, I find the absolute perfect tea set for Baabara. I use the mum's teapot and little cup, and I customize it to have the sheep pattern on it, and because Baabara's a sheep, it's so perfect. And in the old games, the tea set that she had in her house was green, and if you decorate it to be with the sheep on, it's green, so I just thought it was so perfect for her and I had to include it. It really gives me grandma vibes as well. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I call Baabara Grandma Barbs, because she's just like my grandma to me. I don't have a grandma in real life, so I really love Baabara, and she is like my adopted grandma to me. And she's so sweet. A lot of people don't particularly like the villagers I like. I know not all of them are like the cutest, most aesthetic villagers, but I love them because of the experiences and relationships I formed with them in the old games. So that's one of the reasons I love Baabara. I used to have her in my Wild World town, and she lived by the beach, and she's just so mean and sassy. She was always so rude in the old games, and I love that about her. Unfortunately, in New Horizons, she is not as rude as she used to be. She is a bit rude. I actually met her on an island near the start of the game, and I was so happy, and so I had to take her home. She's one of the rare ones for my villagers that I actually found on an island rather than use their amiibo card. So I was super happy to find her, and I've kept her ever since actually. There's been a couple of times where I've debated getting rid of her for a more aesthetic villager, but in the end I always decide to keep her because she's just so sweet and she's just so nostalgic for me. When I see her on my island, I feel like it's right, you know, because she's always been in my islands growing up, well, my towns growing up. She's just so funny and rude, and she's just super sassy. It's really unfortunate New Horizons took all the sass out of their Snoopy characters, because one of the main reasons I love Baabara so much is because she was so rude, and I really wanted this like rude, sort of out of touch, snobby old lady on my island, and I wanted that to be Baabara. But unfortunately, New Horizons kind of messed that up, so she's super nice to me now, which is sweet because I do see her as my grandma, and I did like to think that she was always nice to me but rude to everyone else. So it still sort of fits in with my little idea of her, not as much as I'd like, because she isn't too rude to the other villagers. I remember she was really rude once and I found it hilarious, and I just love her. I think she's so underrated. No one likes her, but if you're a classic Animal Crossing fan, I'm sure you understand what I mean when I say Baabara just has a really special place in my heart, because I've known her since I was a child. And she's just so lovely to me, and yeah, she's meant to be rude and snooty, but I just love that about her. As you can tell, I'm decorating the house at the moment to be more accessorized, and we're putting things on the wall. As you can tell, I went with a very brown theme. I really do wish we had that classic sofa from the old games in this one. I'm hoping one day New Horizons will do like a DLC type thing. It doesn't have to be paid for. I would much prefer it to be free, to be honest with you, but I'd love if they did it where they did like a whole nostalgia set and they brought back all the old furniture sets. I'd love to see that classic sofa, because they sort of gave us the classic furniture set in this game. I think it's called the antique set in New Horizons. It's basically the exact same as the classic furniture set. They didn't give us the sofa, and that was like the most iconic part of it for me. So yeah, I was really sad to see that go in this game. And I'm putting like some paintings and cross-stitch stuff on the wall. She did have a brown cello, I think it was, but I didn't have a brown one, so I did use a white one. She did have a tall grandfather clock. I'm not sure we even have an item like that in this game. We might do, but I don't have it. But I did have a clock that looks sort of like it that you can put on the wall, so I did put that on the wall as sort of a replacement. Her record player in older games was only 1 square big. It was like a short, tall one, sort sort of like the same size as the jukebox in New Horizons, but I only have this larger one, though I think she would love it, so I used that one instead because it looks exactly like the item in old games, just a bit bigger. And so as you can see, I did have to make quite a few changes. I also wanted to add quite a bit of plants as well, because she does have a couple of plants in her classic home, and since she's a grandma, I like to imagine she does a bit of gardening, though her main hobbies are fashion and being rude. And I really just wanted to give her this comfy, cozy grandma home. I wanted it to be like when you walk into Barbara's house, you really do feel like you're visiting your grandma. You've come round for some tea and you're just gonna have a relaxing time together, maybe gossip about some of the local villagers' outfits and stuff like that. I really would have liked if villagers' homes were bigger. I would have loved to give her this like big kitchen area, super comfy cozy grandma kitchen, but unfortunately villagers' homes aren't very big, so I knew we wouldn't have room for that, and so I didn't include a kitchen in this one, but I really was tempted to try build one in here somewhere. But again, I did want to leave it to be quite a bit spacious. Like I said, I know Nintendo wouldn't be able to fit all of this into a classic villagers' home because those homes are a lot bigger, but I think you could still take what I've built here as a template. They could have still done something with these vibes in her home rather than what they did. I'm not saying what they did was bad. I think it was unique and creative. I just don't think it was Baabara, for me personally. That's why today I've created Barbara's comfy cozy grandma chic home that she deserves. I don't know if that's what I'm going to title it, but probably something along those lines. I have been talking for a long time now, so how about we show Baabara her home and move on to the tour. So here she is in her brand new home, and I think it suits her a lot better than her old one. She looks so comfy and cozy here. This is what the home looks like when it's finished. Isn't it just so warm and comfy and cozy? I put quite a lot of rugs in here, which I don't think Nintendo would ever do. But like I said, this room is a little bit bigger than the classic villager's home. I feel like I've said that a million times. But yeah, I really want to include a radiator and a phone because we have radiators here in the UK and it just reminds me of like a comfy grandma house. And a little phone where she could like call me if she ever needed help or wants to chat about something. I also included a zodiac sheep because I have one of those outside of her house. And it just reminds me of her because it's beautiful and it's a sheep, just like her. Over in the left hand corner we have this exotic screen and this humidifier because I know Barbara really loves to take care of her skin, and I know this really helps your skin glow and make the room really nice. She also has Luna's bed. We could switch this up with a rattan bed if we weren't allowed to have Luna's bed in a villager's home, but I just think it suits her. Over here we have her piano, which she had in all of the previous homes that she's had in games, and her cello. So we know that Barbara loves music. She's a very classic chic lady. I thought, of course, since she loves to do makeup and her skincare, she needs to have her wardrobe and a mirror so that she can make sure she looks nice in the morning. Over here we have her record player and her clock, and a little basket of towels with some leaves in that I thought she could use for her skincare and clothes and things like that. I think she'd spend a lot of time here dancing. She has a beautiful flowery and fruit painting on the wall over here along with her sheep rocking horse. Maybe it's like an antique item that she's collected over the years. She also has her plants over here and some carnations, which were a Mother's Day item, and I imagine that I gave her them because she is my grandmother in my eyes. And of course my favourite part of this house is over here in the living room. It really does just feel like an old lady's house to me. I wanted to include a cake and tea, a little lamp and a couple of places to sit and relax, and lots of plants of course, and I just think it came out so cute and I absolutely love how it came out. So if you don't like it, that's okay. If you prefer her old house, that's perfectly fine, but I'd really love to hear your thoughts on it because I just absolutely love how this came out, and I just think the little tea set is so perfect for her, and I imagine she bought or baked this cake so that we could have tea and cake together, and I just really love how it came out. So please do let me know what you guys think. But with that out of the way, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and are looking forward to more videos in this series. Don't worry, I will still be completing my fairy home decorating series, so look out for those. But I'll also be doing this series where we fix villagers' homes, so I hope you look forward to more videos like these. Next up up should be Drift's house, which I'm really excited to decorate because I think he deserved a lot better. Yeah, I really hope you guys liked Barbara's home transformation. I think she loves it. If you enjoyed this video, please do let me know in the comments, and please do leave a like and subscribe, only if you want to though. Before I go, I just want to say an extra special thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting me this month. You're all so lovely and so sweet, and it really does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And to the rest of you for watching this, thank you so much. Hope you're having a super lovely day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye!